Our verse for today comes from probably one of the least read books in the entire Bible, the very brief book of the prophet Obadiah. And our verse is chapter 1, verse 15, which says, "For the day of the Lord is near against all the nations. As you have done, it shall be done to you. Your deeds shall return on your own head." Well, this is not exactly a cheery, love your neighbor kind of verse to start your day with. But Obadiah is sharing an important message, even if it's one we really don't like to hear that much. You know, when the Hebrew Bible, and especially the Hebrew prophets, talk about the judgment of God, quite often the judgment of God is simply that God leaves us, God allows us to experience the consequences of our choices and decisions. It's not always the case, but it is sometimes. And Obadiah is saying the day of the Lord, and that is always a reference in the Bible usually to judgment. The judgment of the Lord is near, and it's against every nation, all nations. And Obadiah is saying the way you have treated others, that's how God is going to treat you. Your deeds shall return on your own head. So if a nation's deeds have been things like corruption and greed and injustice and not taking care of the widow, the orphan, the poor, the alien in their midst, then bad things are going to be coming and returning on their own heads. If a nation has been just, loving, compassionate, generous, then those are the things that will return on their heads, says Obadiah. You know, sometimes in life, people simply don't get what they deserve because life isn't fair. But sometimes the judgment of God is the way we treat others will end up being the way we get treated. And that's part of why I always think of what James says in the New Testament. He quotes Hosea in reminding us that mercy triumphs over judgment. I'm always going to err on the side of mercy and grace and love because that's what I want to return to me on the day of the Lord. Be kind and be gracious this day.